Hey everybody, D here, Daily Gaming, back with more Monster Hunter World, and I'm going to do a quick video on item loadout, or weapon loadouts, not item. I already did item loadouts, radio menus and such. This is going to be on weapon and armor loadouts. Now, I'm still in low rank, as you can tell from the mission up in the corner. So, at this point of the game, doing weapon loadouts isn't really necessary. Most of the skills and stuff are not that good. You'll get small bonuses and such, but it's really not going to benefit you that much. A lot of the skills are only going to be like 10%, plus 1 or whatever. It's nothing game changing. They are helpful, and you can do it obviously if you want to, but it's nothing special. So, just to show off the item loadouts and such, weapon loadouts, I went ahead and I've crafted up some new armor and stuff. Now this is what I normally use. Obviously playing as a charge blade. Go to change equipment. We'll show. We have Elite Commission X2, an artillery charm, the Wrathless helm for a point of guard, the Wrathless mail for the weakness exploit, Kestodon guards for the affinity sliding, high metal coil for the capacity boost, and the Jura Greaves for the focus. Again, none of them are that good. Just level 1. That's it. Or if you look at all my skills, yeah, just weakness 1, focus 1, capacity. It can only be 1. Artillery 1, guard 1, and affinity sliding. Another one that can only be 1. So none of them are that great. It's nothing game changing. Nothing that's really going to help you get through a boss. But it's just a good introduction into it as you get further in. Once you get to high rank, you start getting more weapons or more skills on your armor, and you start getting decorations. It's especially going to be helpful in master rank. Now, the reason you want to use these loadouts is because it is going to help out with missions. Once you get to some of the higher rank missions and master rank missions, you have to hunt multiple monsters. The issue is that a lot of those monsters have varying weaknesses. So if you have a build that's set for one monster, once you're out on the mission, you can't really change your equipment. You can go to your tent, or no, some missions you can't. Yeah, some missions you don't have access to your tent or anything. So if you want to change your equipment, you have to do it through item loadouts. Plus, not to mention, it's a lot faster and a bigger headache, and it'll save you a lot of time. Because again, depending on how you play, you may have 50 or 100 armor pieces, or between weapons, headgear, chest gear, and everything, or charms, decorations. You might have hundreds of things to sort through. So having to constantly sort through them all can drive you insane. Now, to set an item loadout, it's very simple. Once you have your armor set with whatever you have on there, under change equipment, and I believe you can do this anywhere where you can change your equipment, you just want to hit the options button, and right here is your loadouts. So now you can just hit triangle, save that loadout, and then if you want, you can hit options again, and you can name it. And I'll just name it Art for Artillery build, or a loadout. Now, like I said, I've been changing my equipment up, or I've crafted new equipment, mainly to show this off because I'm starting to get new weapons. Playing as the Charge Blade, there's impact files and there's power elemental files. Now, my artillery charm, my artillery charm is pretty much pointless with this build. Or it's pretty much pointless when I'm using the Wrathless Blade, because my Wrathless Blade scales up with power element file. So I was looking and I was thinking about what I could use, switch that out with to give me a little boost, and I figured, why not just go ahead and take advantage and just go ahead and craft the extra armor. I was grinding out Wrathless to make the Wrathless Blade, and I had almost everything I needed to craft almost the whole set. So I figured, why not just go ahead and switch out a bunch of these, or switch out some of my armor and do that. So for the artillery, because my Wrathless helm gives me a point of guard, I'm switching that out for the Wrathless helm for the attack boost. So to counterbalance losing my guard, I went ahead and crafted the Ironside charm, which gives me a point of guard. So now I still have my guard, I still have an attack boost, but the high metal coil I've talked about in other episodes about, or in another episode, about how I'm not that big on capacity boost. I'm not very good at positioning the charge blade, or the Savage Axe Elemental Discharge. I'm usually too close or I'm too far away. So if I'm too far away, yeah, that extra file helps because I get at least one hit in. But more often than not, I'm too close, and the last two files miss. So that extra file doesn't really do a lot for me, except for charging my shield. So I have no problem switching it out for the fire attack. Now this is obviously going to really boost or really help with my Wrathless Blade, but the biggest thing is I now get the Wrathless power, because you need 3 pieces of it. I have all 3. Oh, I'm only looking at 1 out of 3. That's why it's, yeah. See, now it's highlighted. So what it does is increases elemental damage when landing critical hits. Well, with the chest piece, I had the weakness exploit, which gives me 10% increased affinity on weak spots, with an extra 5 on wounded parts. With my Kestodon gloves, which give me 30% affinity after I slide, and it says for a short time. That short time is like 30 seconds, I think, maybe a little longer. It says short time, but it's actually a good bit of time. But with the weakness exploit, and with that bumps my affinity up to a maximum of 45 just from my armor. Now, Wrathless Blade has an extra 10%, so that bumps me up to 55. So that means 1 out of 2 hits are going to be crit hits, which is also going to give me boosted elemental damage. My elemental damage is 180, but with the Wrathless Coil, that gives me plus 30, so that'll put me up to 210. So with the Wrathless power, I'm not sure how much that'll boost it up by, honestly, but it'll give me an even bigger boost to my elemental damage. So this is a decent set to use if I'm going to use a fire weapon. But again, the problem is if an enemy's immune, or if they're not, or if they're highly resistant to fire, this build is pretty much broken, because I'm not going to be dealing much damage to them with a Wrathless Blade. So now that if I wanted to switch back to my artillery, oops, I didn't mean to do that. All I have to do is press loadout, and there it is. I can select my artillery. Now before I do that, let's go ahead and save this one. And let's just mark this as fire. So I know this is my fire build, and this is my artillery build. Now, another reason I went ahead and crafted this set is because I can still use this set with other elemental weapons. This set doesn't just increase my fire damage. Because of the Wrathless Coil, I get an extra 30 points with my fire damage, but I can still use my, my Mudslide Blade, and I'll still get a boost. It'll still have increased affinity on weak spots and everything. So it's not going to be as good as using another armor set, but I don't have access to another armor set. But it's still better than nothing. But now, in the middle of a mission, I can quickly and easily switch between weapons, or switch between armor sets, depending on what I am fighting. And for item loadouts, it says 14, and that gives you a total of 112 slots. I'm not sure if you can go above that or not. I don't think anybody's ever used 112. I don't know why you would. That seems a bit overkill. But, I mean, I guess people have needed them. That's why they put it there. I guess they used to have less in previous games, and people complained that it wasn't enough. So they kept jacking it up until people stopped complaining. I don't know. But yeah, so you can have a lot. And one thing I do in my game, or when I play this game, one thing I do is I typically have one character that focuses on one weapon. So this character is only going to use the Charge Blade. So I'm only going to need to use armor sets that boost, or I'm sorry, I'm only going to need to have loadouts that boost specific aspects of it. So if I want to use, if I feel like using a Savage Axe style later on, once I have better equipment, I can have a loadout for the Savage Axe, and then I can have a loadout for the Savage Axe for this element, or that element, or this element, or for a Savage Axe with artillery build. and then I can have an artillery build with all different things and such, and it's so. Yeah, I guess I could see how people could use a lot of them, because I could have a couple dozen just for the charge blade. Other people with using multiple weapons could have dozens for each weapon, like I do, but they have multiple weapons. So I guess I could see them using a lot. But that is how you do them. So now if I, select my artillery, bam, I've switched back. Now I'm using that. Done. Now I'm using my fire. So it's as simple as that. And one last thing, when you're looking under this menu, it doesn't add in all of your bonuses. So if I look at my weapon, it just says 443, 10, and 180, and that's what it normally has. If it's not accounting for any of these. Now, some of these effects don't even kick in until I'm in combat, so you won't ever see them here. But you can go to the training room and you can see them, but you can still bring up your menu and oh, I was wrong. I could see it under that option. My Wrathless Blade has a flat rate of 150. Because of my Wrathless Coil, it's giving me 180. I was wrong. Huh, I thought you couldn't see it. Oops. That's weird. I thought you couldn't see it. Oh, you see now? Yeah, it's back to 150. It said, I wonder if it was like a glitch or something? Yeah, that's what I thought. When you're looking under this menu, you're not supposed to be able to see it, but it was showing me 180. That's weird. Okay. But, there you go. That's how you use item loadouts and everything like that. Or weapon loadouts. Just quickly want to mention, one of the reasons I did this is because I'm getting ready to go up against Legiana, and Legiana is weak to fire. Plus, I enjoy fighting, or so I wanted to get a weapon and armor set that'd be good against Legiana. Plus, I enjoy fighting Wrathless. A lot of people don't like fighting the Wrathless. I do. He does hit very hard and can go very bad quickly, but I think the Wrathless is a good fight. I'm getting better and better each time I go, and sometimes I can just beat down Wrathless. It's a lot of fun. So that's the other reason I went ahead and made this set. It's like I have all the pieces, so why not? But that's going to wrap up this video. Sorry to ramble. Sorry about that. I hope you found it useful, and I'll see you next time.